Hello there, and welcome to this an ASMR journey. I want to take you on a story that is surrounded with mystery and confusion and doesn't really have understanding. But I hope you join me on this story. I want you to lay down, close your eyes, and let the sound of my voice blow across you. Or if you prefer, then you can just sit there and listen to the sound of my voice. It's completely up to you. So, let's begin. You close your eyes, and you find yourself awake in a green field. Grass, from the eye can see, everywhere, covering the ground, littering the ground with a green glow. The only other things you can see in the distance are trees, forests littering the background, birds flying in and out of their branches. The faint call of the birds you can hear in the distance, squawking and squeaking, calling you to the morning. You sit up from the grass and look around a bit more. Still nothing. Nothing was there. It was empty. This place you had been transported to was nothing. You stood up and started running, looking for some reason why you were transported back here, why you found yourself laying in grass, this unfamiliar place. You look around and there's nothing. Empty. You start running in every direction, looking for some sort of new thing, something that you had never seen before. But once again, there's nothing. The forest in the background grew further and further away. The field where you had started just kept on going. Nothing. After about 3-4 hours of searching, looking for some reason as to why you were here, some answer, you stumbled across it. A house. Its walls were bricked, red bricked. The windows metal barred. The door, this massive wooden structure. You go up to the house, looking. You reach for the door handle, a skull-shaped door handle. You twist it. The door opens easily. But what you had failed to notice is, as you were running up to the house in the window, a ghost, a figure, stood watching you as you approached. Her face was old, her dress a brown, dark, wounded dress. She had been there for some time, but in your hurry you had failed to see her, and now you're entering her house. What were you doing? Why were you here? The door opened with an almighty boom, shattering the walls as it went, sending a sound wave bouncing through the house. What was I doing here? You thought. A massive staircase stood in front of you, inviting you up to go upstairs. Rooms to the left and right of you. Pictures adorned the walls. Pictures of 4 men and a woman. On one side, and another side, this picture of this weird monster. In the middle of the room, you failed to notice the first time. A stand, this gold-plated stand. And on top of the world, the earth. You noticed it, obviously. You stepped up closer to it, and the world looked broken. It wasn't how it seemed previous. You stepped over to the pictures and looked at them. There were 4 men and a girl. The girl was dressed in a Victorian black dress with a white scarf around her neck. Her hair, a classic style. The men behind her, one had a Russian cap, the other holding a katana, another holding what looked to be a bone saw. and another guy holding an axe. Why was a picture so violent, containing a girl of so innocence, doing in a house that had honestly been left to fend for itself in the world? You turn away from the picture and go upstairs. 2 corridors met you, one to your left, one to your right. You journeyed down the left-hand side, looking at all the windows and into all of the windows on the outside world. Still the green field with the forest in the background. The sun beamed through the windows, illuminating your path. You step up to one of the doors you open. Inside, it was a child's room. Was it the girl in the picture's room? Maybe. The walls were covered in the same sort of style, pictures and paintings. The floor had a bed with a pink robe thrown across it. On the floor, there was pictures, cartoons, with crayons scribbled, various drawings still with all these 4 men, and the monster from the other side of the room was also in the pictures. He was dressed in red, with teeth coming through his mouth. The room suddenly became dark. You realised that the sun had gone down. Your only light had just disappeared. The moon came up. What was this? Was time going quicker in this place? Possibly. You thought to yourself. You looked back at the door. The door was open. Looking out to the corridor now dark. Unfamiliar to how you had just seen it with the light. You stepped away from the door, honestly. Too scared to go back out there. Suddenly, the door slammed, cascading a sound through the walls of the room that you were in. Who had shut the door? It certainly wasn't the wind. There was no wind in the house. All the windows were shut. That's not possible. Who had just shut the door? Keeping an eye on the door, you wander over to the desk, only to be greeted by more pictures. Pictures of these same 4 men and this red creature. You're confused. Why were these 4 men and this girl and this red creature in your dreams? Why had you journeyed back here just to see this? It made no sense. You looked over at a journal, a book. It was old and filled with symbols and drawings of various things that you had never seen before. But 4 names were scribbled into the words of the page, every page. 4 names: Dempsey, Richtofen, Takeo, and Nicola. You were confused. Who were these people? Who were these 4 men? These 4 men who had a reality created around them and fused into a dream. It made no sense. Suddenly there was a knock at the door. Who was knocking? Who was at the door? There was nobody else in the house. The knock continued. You go over to the door and grab for the handle. You twist it gently, trying to not make a sound, but before it was too late, the door slammed open, and you're greeted by a creature, the same one from the pictures. It stood there, dressed in red, like it was a king of this reality. How could this creature, this thing, make it into your dream? It made no sense. You had never thought about it. This wasn't a figment of your imagination. What was it? You staggered backwards, scared, tripping over various toys and pieces of clutter that littered the floor. You fell. The creature screeched, its arm extended out. Its claws reached for you. You suddenly felt really tired. Your eyes closed. Almost fainted, but you didn't. Time passed. You awoke about another 2 hours later in the same place, the same room, but this time to Somerset. The creature was gone, the drawings on the floor were also gone. This reality that once was here had disappeared. And then you realised that house, it was your family home. It had been infested with this false reality. You were confused. You immediately woke up from this dream, this nightmare, to be greeted by your mum. She stood above you, towering with pancakes and breakfast and juice. But this wasn't true. How could that reality that you just were in suddenly just up and vanish? It made no sense. And what was that red creature? Who were those 4 men? You didn't know. Lost in your own imagination, you were confused and didn't understand what was going on. You looked at your mum for guidance, but she had no clue. She had just handed you the breakfast and walked out. You sat there trembling, shaking, sweating, confused. You looked around your room to make sure that your real-life reality was still the same. Checking your desk and your floor and your walls, making sure all the pictures and paintings and toys that were all in the same place still. You got up, leaving the breakfast on the bed. You walked over to the desk. The summer essay that you had just perfected the night before was still there. You looked at the page. Why is global warming so bad? The essay was titled. Words littered the page, filled with meaning and understanding. But then at the bottom you realised that wasn't there the night before. 4 words. 4 words were written on the bottom of the page, and a scrawl, and a child's scrawl. The words said simply, "Run from the keeper. Run." What the hell was a keeper? It made no sense. How now these realities had infested your dreams and now were infesting your own life. This made no sense. No sense. Suddenly you were jumped by your dad shouting up the stairs. "Come on, honey! It's time to go to school!" He shouted from downstairs. You grabbed up your essay, hiding it from plain sight, ran downstairs and got into the car, leaving for school. Your school was a classic building, filled with children and teenagers, all bustling with hormones and not a care in the world. You, the odd one out, filled with this imagination that was falsified, this false imagination. You got out of the car and started walking into the main gate, looking around for your one true friend that you could trust with this. He ran over to you, started babbling about the latest football scores and stuff that you didn't really care about anymore. And then you said it. "My dreams were false," you said. They were not mine. They were implanted in me. It makes no sense. He looked at you. He fell over. He stumbled back from you. And then you realised everybody in the college was looking at you. What was so different about me? Why weren't people looking at me before? And then you realised. You looked down at your hands and they were red, like the creature in your dream. And then you looked at your clothes. You weren't wearing a school uniform. You were in a red robe, just like the creature. And then you realized the reality of your school began crumbling away, peeling at the seams like it was a set. The school peeled away, and this reality that you thought was true disappeared, and you were once returned to that same house, the house in your dream, with the pictures on the floor and the keeper reaching out for you, still screeching. How did you end up back here? You were just in school. It was real, wasn't it? Was it? Guys, that was the ASMR journey. I know it wasn't really ASMR-y, but hope you guys enjoyed the story. If you guys want to see more of this, and if you want me to carry on this story, then hit that like button down below. But hope you enjoyed this ASMR journey. Yeah, I've got a story planned, boys. So if you guys enjoyed this, then hit a like button down below, and let me know if you want to hear more. If you want me to carry on this story, then let me know, guys. Adios.